Headman John Noon, and the rest of us are supports. And the purpose of today's meeting is to get an idea, to hear from the membership. What are your thoughts about this exciting opportunity that we are thinking of, or we are contemplating. Kan sa ito tamag, ispin kawite tamag, tamego, soon yaw toimi. What it should, maybe ideas, different ideas. I know I was talking to one of our band members, Marlon Morris, came up with some real good ideas. Yesterday, he was talking to me about ideas and real positive, real good ideas. And I know some of you have done a lot of thinking in that regard as well. But before we get started, again, those of you who have cell phones, turn them off. No, I was kidding. Those of you who have cell phones, if you can download the app, right, on your spare time, it's free. Go to the App Store and download the Thunderchild app. We always put our notices up there, so you're in the loop. You know what's going on. You know what's happening. We try to update it as frequent as we can. And if it's not there, then it's going to be under thunderchild.ca, which is the Thunderchild website. So again, the purpose of today's meeting, is to just, we want to hear. Your leadership wants to hear, your thoughts in regards to your thoughts and ideas. We've done a lot of work. We've done a lot of hard work. We've been busy on this, right? And so we're quite excited, about it. And so without any further ado, I want to turn things over to Headman Mel Thunderchild.
Thank you, Chief. Ano ako malating isa, kinanasuan, Katyo, Epetagute on short notice. We apologize for that. And there's reasons why, we need to assemble the Gagamamskut Amomba, one of the Thunderchild's largest land claim settlement, Treaty 6 Agriculture Benefits Claim by Tigate. So today, nothing's been decided, how that money is to be used. When we talk in council, let's go to the people first. We stop kaito e tikutan sa sunya sa kay tapat si. So go cuma kate on short notice kista. Te peta tan suma sunya sa kapat si. I know there's going to be a lot of different ideas. We may not agree, but at the end of the day, we hope Kakyo will be happy with what we walk out with at the end of the day. And again, I just want to thank everybody for being here. I know as well, Tapue, there's many people that feel that they're entitled to this money. I totally agree. You're entitled to the money. We can't forget the future as well. We can't. The future generations. Never forget that, guys. That's what I know. In my heart, I really believe that this is also for the future that are not here yet. Another thing is, of course, I read Facebook like everybody else and stuff. From time to time, I do read some of the comments. And there's also a question, treaty rights, that we're signing off treaty rights by agreeing to this. It's not the case. I really don't believe it's the case. It was part of treaty. When the reserve when Chief Thunderchild signed treaty in 1879, there was under treaty, we were to get farming implements, which we didn't when the reserve was in Delmas. The federal government back then, this is what they didn't give Thunderchild so that we would prosper, learn a new way of life. That's what they expected. So this was a part of that treaty. We're correcting a wrong of the past, and this is a settlement that is here today for us. To make a decision on. So with that, again, like I said, nothing's concrete, nothing's been settled. We haven't received no money yet from the government until the vote has happened. And then I believe there's a time frame next step. When the vote happens, there's going to be a whole time frame there. So we're really pressed for time. I know we're hoping to try and get something before Christmas. We're going to try very hard. We're going to try very hard to try and make that happen. But again, the time frame is really tough there. It could happen. So we'll just see how it goes. But today, again, I'm really happy. I was hoping John would be here to make some comments as well. But I am the portfolio holder of Cows and Plows. But again, it's all leadership, that make the decision. So we just kind of go with that, man. So thank you, Chief. I'm not too sure if the council would want to say a few words too, or. Okay, we'll hand the mic over to Councillor Leonard.
First of all, thanks for the prayers for today for our meal. Thanks to all the workers, all the people who help, who contribute to these events, who help set up all this so nicely. Really appreciate the hard work that comes out of this community. I wasn't really prepared to say anything about Cows and Plows, but just for myself, speaking on my own behalf, I tell people we can't say we're being financially responsible in the same sentence as giving away a big chunk, millions and millions and millions of dollars. However, every settlement, there's been a PCD for the people, so of course I support that 100%. Support a PCD payout as a part of the settlement. It's a huge game changer for our community. The investments that can be made. We got addictions issues, we got homelessness issues, mental health issues. We're starting to see cases of chemical psychosis and permanent psychosis in our communities. And these are all, as happy as I want to be for our people, there's still a lot of struggles that we need to overcome together, because it's our families that are affected, it's our parents, it's our grandparents, it's the children of these people. So with that, I really hope together we can all make the right choices here in helping our people, helping one another, helping each other. I don't only feel that way as a leader, but I feel that way as a part of Thunderchild First Nation, and I always have. I've always been part of where I'm happy and proud of where I'm from. Always represented Thunderchild. When I had a chance to make a song that's going to be worldwide, I called it Thunderchild, because I want the whole world to know who I am and where I'm from. So I want this settlement to be just another milestone in our legacy of Thunderchild First Nation. Our wellness center is going to be done pretty soon. I'm so amazed. I'm so amazed that we have that already. So just, this settlement is the tip of the iceberg. It's gonna really push our community further. It's gonna help our people further, but at the same time, lack of responsibility will really bring us down. I'm not here to say that people should be responsible, but that is what's gonna eventually help us in the long run, is responsibility. Everyone taking their own responsibility as parents, as elders, as staff, as teachers, as mentors, hunters, the cooks who help, the escapos. We're all part of the same community. We're all part of Thunderchild. I really want to see us do good things for our people. I really want everyone to have an equal opportunity at achieving and success and creating these positive milestones. There's a lot of hurt in families from the addictions and the problems that stem from that. So I really want people to think about these things when it comes to this settlement. We can't be thinking about ourselves. I don't think about myself personally. That's me personally. I just want to share some words with you guys about how I feel, my thoughts, because I'm out there every day. I'm at home. I'm communicating with the band members. People come to me for help. Sometimes I can't help them because the help they need is beyond my profession. It's beyond, they need mental health, professional help. So I do my best to talk to these people. And we have the services. We have the services needed to help these people. I myself, I can't even, like a PCD payout, I'm in agreement. I agree with that. But I myself personally can't think of a number because I think too much of everyone else. I hope I'm not being timed here. So I think, there's a lot more I could say. But like I said, I didn't come here prepared. I like to speak from my heart, but normally I like to have a bullet list of what I want to talk about. But I think I said what I needed to say. And if I have any more comments, then I'll be glad to share them with all of you. But for now, that's everything. Thank you, everybody.
Hi. So they always put me on the spot, and I'm really scared for public speaking still. But I want to thank everyone, all the elders, for coming here. I don't see a lot of youth here, but I really wish they could have come. I spoke to my daughter and a lot of her friends, and I kind of asked them what they would like to see. They see all the issues that we have in our community, in the schools. There's just a lot of stuff that they shouldn't see, and it's a lot of stuff that I grew up seeing as well. But by now I thought times would change. We would get better at this stuff. But as the generation get older, then I feel like more problems arise. And to me, it's disconnection. There's a lot of disconnection in our community. There's no connection to our culture. I myself would love to be immersed in my own culture, and I don't get to see that. I don't even get to speak to elders as much as I want to because I don't know who to go to. And that's what I'm saying about the disconnection. I want to be able to, speak free to my elders. I want to speak free to my children. So I'm a prime example of no connection. And so when I speak to my kids about it, how am I supposed to teach them how to connect to their culture and their family and their roots if I don't know myself? So I'm not going to be up here and pretend that I know everything. But what I know is there is a disconnection, and with that, there are a lot of addictions problems. And I see a lot of my friends that I grew up with who are in that lifestyle, and I hurt for them. I hurt for their kids, and it's not an easy thing to see. And then our parents, our grandparents also see it. I see it. And these are the people that should be teaching our children, how to I don't want to say be an Indian, but they should be teaching us this, and I don't know who to go to get that guidance. And with this settlement, with this money, this can bring so many opportunities for language, culture. It could bring, counseling, like professional counseling for addictions, like detox. A lot of people don't even know that they're disconnected. To be connected to something, or to be whole, you need to be connected to something, and you have to find that. And a lot of people who are going through addiction, they don't know that. They don't know that they're like what's missing. So a lot of people go out there and they try to find their purpose. And I think that when the settlement comes, we're gonna have a lot of opportunities for those things, for people to be immersed again. Because that's what I miss. I miss being a little girl and, going to cultural ceremonies, I didn't go to a lot, but cultural camp, like I look forward to that every year. Like I learned how to skin a rabbit, like deer, moose, everything. And I don't get to see that. My kids have never seen that, and maybe that's my problem, maybe that's my issue. But again, I don't know who to go to. And I want to be able to go to anyone, without feeling like I'm bombarding on them or feeling like I'm bothering them. So, yeah, I didn't even have anything to say, but I guess that's just what, like Leonard said, you speak from the heart. I just heard for our people, our community needs to heal already. And I know everybody knows that. They see a lot of people who are addicted and they don't know what to do. So with this can bring good opportunities for everything. So again, I just like to thank everyone for coming, and I hope you like the KFC. I don't really like KFC myself, but I'll eat it for you guys. So again, have a good day, guys. I look forward to all the healthy discussions today. And have a good day today, okay?
Good words, good words. Good afternoon, Krista. Greetings to all with health. And for the ones that are traveling today, safe travels back to your home players. But the way I would like to start off is that nasuma kete kapis was my wa is gama mo jesu ka kamamsia mi mo gaima matsu is wa the gama ka yo nasuma pix was tomato the gama pix was tomato the gama yugi wa gawin tomato Good. I'm UICD with UICD Latka. The guy who on this Siamana. Perhaps was but Maxi, Mr. Asuna Moa, Sky. We start with Milk Maxi. At the moment, he's tired. Lieutenant Asuma over 10 hours, the Ghanaian. The moment's been a heavy topic for 15, 20 years already. Counting plows and this. When you got the open it's now, you got Mutama, you might have to scatter. You got to go on this year, and that's come out, we start. And that's it, by Mutama. The old chief to buy again. Tata, where? He way go to get. Where? Mark, again. Dante, you want to discuss to that what's next to want to be wow, Magagi. So we take it, we take it now, Maga, wow. Mr. Das. Kamaya, the Kisuma, these are which got on behalf of our people. They're going to be known to Stabote, Stabiola. Vamos suksu. Situ skato. Now it is governments. This is what we need. This is the support we need. And we need to have our voice heard to us from you. So it's good to see this crowd here today. It's very powerful. And this is what we like to see. Support to strengthen our words when we're sitting there negotiating on your behalf, along with the prayers. So, I guess myself, I better get back to the topic of cows and plows and stuff. I came back in '94. This Perché per tomare un po' di anni, stiamo facendo un business, tanto tutto. Se non nasco, my membership, my marriage, family, is something to got the least of these steps, so we need to go back to nasco. Magamoy mo business, mo gatski wait the law, the mom's train song, I want rin song. Give so big, this thing if they want to get time. We must get the house on, we break this one months. Dito, I see no, this Negaskita, Elkowitz. They want Mitsahabanis, say it's not opium. They want milk matsu. So out of there. Dacht ik al, ja, ze moeten maar zo'n stap voorbij. Niet dat dan gaat beter gooien. Maar het gewoon maar. De laatste moet ik echt joh, dat je maar nooit keer, dat je aan te maken. Jij moet zeggen, ik wou maar. Ja, je werkt in de hal. Is dat al, ik deed dat niet. Maar ook wel eens gemaakt te eten. Take the box to the sky. It was Simeon. Japano. Every about the Rema, places, telling I was the way. If you are snake, I didn't go apart. About the Rema, I want to go by. Kawai was only on the family. Kaya ko ang siya, speak sa akin pues, consultera, visto, ustedes pintan por esto, que su lugar es humano, se esquiza, la marcha música. Paso es una, no que bobe, government. Paso es una, estoy total, está, después bajo el celular, once again, I think that's the stand. We're fighting against time in the sense of them pressuring us, plus our people wanting distribution. So we're actually ahead of other First Nations by 18 months, 2 years. We jumped loops because of our relationship with the federal government. We were able to jump loops and establish that. Our chief has a lot of good connections, personal connections, business connections in that level, which achieved us to overstep a lot of boundaries and get ahead of other bands. We must not forget that. We're way ahead. We're way ahead because of negotiation. We're able to establish amongst the governments that we respect. So now we're under pressure for time. So even if we go through the process that they want us to go through, the votes and signing of the documents, and getting them back there, and the minister signing it off. It's still gonna take time. The reality of it is we might not even get the real money by the end of this year. It might be the new year. But we've talked amongst ourselves. Because of the high hopes of a distribution our people are wishing for and looking forward to. That's another topic we need to discuss to see if we should go ahead and borrow the amount we agree on that we're going to use for a distribution. Because we can, once we have that letter from the minister, we can use that letter for ammunition to borrow against a loan to do a distribution, at least for the distribution on whatever you guys agree on, whatever you forward to us to present. And that's what we will do with your blessing. We have your blessing. We're giving you a lot of say. And that's the way we operate. And hopefully we come out with a good, healthy discussion today and conclusion. Because remember, time's of essence. And when we got the votes that we're going to have to accept it, we have to do that first and foremost. And if we don't get the yes vote, it's not the government are going to be so happy because they're not going to give us another opportunity if we don't get that yes vote from the people to accept this money. And the amount we achieved is another thing through a relationship with the government and negotiations. We were striving for 150 million was the cap, and we were striving for that. And then we managed to put our heads together, and we started thinking that, the legal team's going to take a portion of this money. So we put our heads together and our effort together and negotiated, and we managed to go over and above the cap figure. So that the government would never agree to pay legal fees, then are ending up paying for it in a sense because we were able to negotiate above what the cap was for the legal fees to be covered. So we were able to negotiate and succeed at 155.4, and that's going to help cover the legal fees. Legal fees are 4%, and that's going to be about $6 million. So instead of us ending up with 144, 145, we're going to get the full 150 at the end of the day. That's plus including in there is covering the legal fees. So we're not losing out. We've achieved over and above. Other bands are going to have to pay their legal fees, and that's going to take a big chunk out of their top figure. So we do work hard. We do work hard to get the best, the max we can for our people. So with that, I guess the pressure that we work under, the daily challenges of negativity, I guess I will just depend on our powerful prayers to deal with those daily outcomes of challenges. It's not easy, and you gotta be a sogaita. You gotta be strong-headed to be able to work through all those factors. The reminders of who you're working for. You're working for all these people. We're going to give it our best. With that, I hope we come out here with a good, healthy discussion and conclusion. And wish you all good health, safe travels back to your home fires. Big thing.
Tansen wagu makan tik mai genas nista. Eno de tatam skat ko kakyo. Kapit mitse de gumanos. I don't want to take up too much time. We have a long afternoon. I'm sure there's a lot of questions out there, but I do want to, kind of set the stage as I know it. In December 2018, we retained Maurice Law to take over the file as the file wasn't going anywhere with Jeff Rath. So at that time, moving forward, 2020, we signed an agreement to move forward with Maurice Law. And in June of 2023, we negotiated with this leadership, everyone sitting up front here, we negotiated with negotiators a settlement of $155 million. And that was more than what we expected. And, our chief, guided us. We went in wanting to get the 155 because there was no guarantee we were going to get the 150 even. So, with our lawyers and the chief and all of us sitting there, we felt, that we would be able to negotiate something, that was fair. So I don't know in the future if we'll ever get a settlement like this again. To me, for me, at this point, this is historic for Thunderchild. When will we ever receive this amount of money again from the government? And I know some think that chief and council are going to squander it. And I also know that some people think that a full payout, that the money is not going to go anywhere, it's all going to be gone in a few months. And then what? So where does that put our future, here in the community and out there? Where does that put our children? Where does that put our unborn children? Are we going to think about them? Or are we going to continue to say full payout, full payout, full payout? I've heard comments from membership that we're using the money to pay for our loans. We're using the money to pay for programming. But all of us who've been in the position of working for our bands all know that all that money comes, program money comes, we don't need to put anything there. There are some programs, sure, like sports, culture, and rec, we don't receive money for it. So that money comes from our own source of revenue, which we all have. We all know we have. We're generating revenue. I see Derek over there with the farm, and that's starting to make money. So that money comes forward, and then we direct that, to the programs that need it. So as far as our bills being paid, the bills are being paid generally, from leadership to leadership. So, but I want to, acknowledge our elders, who are sitting here. Most of them are sitting up front. And I also want to acknowledge, before I forget, past leaderships that are out there. You know, it wasn't just us. Somebody signed this cows and plows agreement in, I think, 2004. And I'm not even sure who was in chief and council then. You know, but they started this whole process. And we're all a part of it. And we're at the very final end, you know, with this chief and council, you know, to see it through. And we are going to do our best, you know, in listening, you know, on how we want to do this. I believe it wasn't just me, there was a few council. We met with an investment manager, you know, and she gave us just a little prediction of how much money we could make, you know, if that money was to be put in a trust fund at that amount, and in, I think she said 10 years, you know, we could make like 272 million. So these are things, you know, that our future generation, the ones younger than me, younger than you know, that they can access this amount. You know, chief and council here, I've heard the comments that they're going to spend it, or they spent half of it. I had my little brother, I read a comment from his Facebook saying that we already spent half of it, last leadership. Well, we just signed the agreement, you know, for the 155. I don't know how we could spend half of it already. But those are some of the comments we have out there. So, you know, I just, you know, would like, I guess, to get my message across, you know, that this council, this leadership, they're going to do their best to, you know, keeping in mind also our future and today, the needs of today. We all know everybody is, we're all low on money, you know. Even chief and council is, you know, we understand, you know, that how hard it is to put food on the table, especially with the costs rising, inflation. So, but with that, you know, I just want to do my best, you know, to ask for support in this, because the vote is very important, and the offer will not come back. I believe it's a simple majority, which basically means the ones who show up, we need 51% to vote in favor. So, you know, we have to think, you know, very carefully, each and every one of us, on how we want to vote. And I guess we're here today, you know, to hear out our membership on what they're thinking is, you know, with this settlement, that this opportunity, you know, that we have today. So with that, well, Magan, I'll let you go. I should have took my glasses off. One of my buddies said, I can't take you serious when you're speaking because your glasses are sideways. I'm missing an arm on that. Take a second, thank you.
Sorry about that. That's the only I'm Jim Aluki, counselor, and my portfolios are the health portfolios and the social assistance. This agreement we have here has a little bit of an issue with it. I would like to hear your ideas today and your thoughts about what we should give as a payout, the amount, and I just want to give some facts right now about what's being said by the provincial government in regards to our cows and plows agreement and the PCD that's supposed to be paid out. As of right now, the provincial government is limiting us to $15,000. Anything over and above that for our income assistance people who are on the welfare program, that's the cap. That's what they want us to give. Anything over and above that cap of $15,000 is going to be deducted. meaning that once you get over and above $15,000, the welfare services, the income assistance services, they're going to be deducted, you're going to be cut off. And in the grand scheme of things, $15,000 can be spent in a week, sometimes a day. So if we give out over and above that, like we need to think about this. This is why I'm telling you, this is fact. You can put this on Facebook. Please put it on Facebook. That $15,000 is what the provincial government is trying to make us give you guys. Now, we're not in agreement with that. We aren't. We're fighting them right now. How dare the government tell us what we can give? This is going back to the old days of you're gonna take what you get and that's it. So right now I'm telling you that we're not agreeing to that. $15,000 is not a lot of money. We all know that. So myself and the chief, because I'm the portfolio holder for the social assistance program portfolio, we're going to meet with the minister here very, very soon, and we're going to ask him for an exemption, or we're going to ask him why he thought of this. We're going to ask him what his problem is. So that's what we're going to do right now. And I see a lot of surprised faces out there. That's what we were told. It's not a lie. It's fact. $15,000 is what we're being capped at. That's not a number we made up. And I want to ask you guys, like $15,000, whatever the amount is that you guys want, I'm excited to hear what you guys have for ideas and your thoughts. But let's take a look. I'm going to be real with you guys here, because we're all adults, we're all smart people here. We have some people in this room, my relatives included, that got payouts of $300,000 for their day school. How long did that last? Now this cap that we have, like it's going to be a big fight with the government here. Myself and the chief here are going to be going to meet with Minister Jean Makowski and try to figure out a way to have them not stop the services. Because there are a lot of people here in Thunderchild who are on income assistance. And off reserve as well. You know, everybody's going to be affected. All of this. And because I run the health portfolio program, you know, like we just take a look at our neighbors over here, Red Pheasant, they had a standoff over there because of drugs, alcohol. You know, when these people get this money and they have no financial education of how to invest or what they want to spend it on, that's where the drugs come in, the alcohol, all of that. So, with me being the health portfolio counselor, you know, the last band meeting we were at, a lot of you here were voicing concerns about the drug dealers and the addictions and that we have to do something about it. But at the end of the day, not one of you guys came forward with an idea of what to do with them. And I want you guys to speak up. My ears are open. And I'm here to tell you guys that I've helped each and every one of you as an Escopios here, as a servant of the people. The events that you guys put up, I've tried to make. And I've been there when we've had the worst of times. But my question to you is like, give it some thought. Tell us what you guys think. But that's what I wanted to tell you guys here today was that the provincial government is capping us at $15,000. We don't agree with that. We're going to be fighting it. Now, I know there's a lot of concerns and there's a lot of issues and stuff being said on Facebook. One of the things I want to address is that people are telling you guys that we're selling out. Selling out what? People are telling you guys that we're going to be losing our treaty rights. How is that? You know, these things that are being said under, can you guys bring information along with it? That's all I ask. If you guys heard that, where did you guys hear it from? Bring your facts up. And I'm telling you right now, I've never stolen off the people in my life. I've never stolen off any of you guys over here. So, you know, it bugs me when I hear that we already spent money. We didn't even get any money yet. please, give your thoughts and ideas about what you want to do with this money and the amount that you want. But I want to bring forth that fact about the $15,000 cap. So thank you.
Well, Pito Council, he speaks Squidzik. I want to provide some clarity now. There's a lot that was said from council. You know, there was talk about, you know, tapos short notice it's short notice that we're having this meeting. And again, you know, it's we posted on the website, and those of you who have gone to the Thunderchild.ca website, and even on the app I believe it's on, it said there that the government gave us until December 13th to accept the offer or not, right? It's on the website. We posted it, right? So, December 13th. Then, there were also some issues in regards to why we couldn't have a band meeting right away, to call this kind of meeting. And the reason why is because in the settlement agreement, there's section 4.2 that talked about that if we would just go ahead and start having informational sessions on the settlement agreement, the way it was written, we would then forfeit our right, Thunderchild's right to any future claims against Canada. So it means that for whatever claim we think that we have against Canada, we wouldn't be able to go after them. And that's the way it was written, that's what they wanted us to agree to. And to me, that's unacceptable. To council, it's unacceptable, right? Because we do have other claims, right, that we're going to be going after government. Not too long ago here, in Ontario, the northern part of Ontario, I believe it is, just settled at $20 billion on their $4 treaty day money. So a number of bands agreed to a $20 billion settlement on their $4 every treaty day. They said, no, it's supposed to go up. The other part of Ontario First Nations have at least, the number keeps changing, but it's $100 billion plus. Well, we're $5, we're not $4. So if we would have agreed to go with the agreement the way it was written, then we wouldn't be able to go after government for future claims, right? So that's why it took the time that it did. Although we're pushed to December 13th, right? So then there was the issue on exemption, right? We could have just said, sure, right? We'll agree to 15,000, you know, and then we would have a debate here today, you know, well, you know, those who are on welfare, yeah, 15, and the rest of us, we want this much, right? And we would be trying to figure out, well, okay, what's the amount, right? Where do most people would like to be, right? So so again, you know, as a council, we pushed back, right? We pushed back and said, no, you know, we like it to be more. So, and then always understanding that we have a December 13th deadline, right? And not only do we have a December 13th deadline, but we're doing our best to try and get the money out by the middle or before Christmas, PCD payment. So as you can see, we don't dictate time. Time is against us. Time is of the essence. But nor are we saying that you need to vote yes. We're not saying that. That's your decision. If you don't want it, you don't have to. That's your right. And we're not here to tell you do it. Right? We're here to give you, you know, the goods, what it is, the truth. This is what it is, right? So, They want to come out anything. Collectively, we're part of that, right? I believe there's 2020? 2001? 2,100 people that can vote, right? 18 and over, right? Now I want you to get this, because it took me a while to get, so I'm going to explain it as good as I can. You only need 25% of the total electorate of 18 and over to vote. All right? So if it's 2,000 people, right? Use that number. You need 500 to vote, right? Of that 500, you need 51%, right? Of that 25%, right? You only need 51% to say yes or no, and it fails or it passes, right? Okay, so are we clear on that? So 2,000 people have the right to vote, 18 and up. Of that 2,000, you only need 25% to vote. Of that 25, you need 50 plus 1 to pass. Or if it's 50 plus 1, no, doesn't pass. Okay? Here's the thing you need to know. If you have 25% of the people that vote, right? And you have 51% of the people that said yes, all good. If 51% of the people said no, the offer is off the table. It'd probably be years before you settle again on your cows and clubs. So it's important to know that, because there's how many other bands that are waiting to be accepted by Canada to negotiate. We're there. And it's not a fear monger. I'm just telling you that's what it is. Right? So you guys can decide yourselves. Because you will not get another vote if you meet that threshold of 25%. Okay? Now, the only way you'll get another vote is to not meet that 25%. If less than 25% of the total electorate didn't vote, and yet it was 100% yes to pass, it won't pass. Or if 100% said no, doesn't mean anything, because you did not meet that threshold. Okay? Then you'll be given a second chance to vote. Right? That's the only time you'll get a second chance to vote. And this is government. This is not Thunderchild. This is government. Right? So it's important, because that's what was explained to us. I thought it was 51%. No, it's 51% of 25%. Right? So I wanted to explain the short notice, because I know there was comments, gee, Chief Lopez, he just calls these meetings just suddenly, we're against, we have the gun for our head, because we know the pressure of people, rightly so, that they want their payments in. They'd like to get their money right away. But we also know that government, so count 45 days. Like, this is how much time we have. So it takes 30 days for the notice, right? So within the notice, we have the informational sessions, right? So you have an informational session in Thunderchild, Saskatoon, Edmonton. 1 day's informational session, next day you're voting. Then you're moving on, then you're moving on. That's going to take about a month. Once the vote happens, then there's a 2-week appeal period, right? And we know how much we like to appeal here in Thunderchild. Okay? So we're going to be, so if there's an appeal within that 2-week period, that's going to hold up, because once the vote happens and if it passes, I sign it off, and members of council, then we send it to the minister. Then the minister gets it, signs it off, sends it back to Thunderchild. Only then can we go to the bank and go do a bridge finance to get money to give out for PCDs. Or we wait for the regular process, which is about 3 months down the road. Right? So that's what's important. There was a comment earlier that was made by council that we signed the agreement. Okay? We signed the negotiating agreement. I want to be clear on that. Alright? We signed the negotiating agreement to say that we are going to negotiate. That's what we signed. We did not sign the settlement agreement. Hence why we're talking today. Right? We didn't sign the settlement agreement. So I want to be clear on that. Then there was also, how much does the lawyer cost? Right? We're hearing 30%, we're hearing this, we're hearing that. 4%. Right? That's what the lawyer, that's what Maurice Law is costing Thunderchild First Nation is 4%. Okay? No big deal, nothing to hide, that's what it is. Other bands, other than $150 million, are paying out $25 million. They're paying 30%. They're paying more. Because they just want to get their claim, they want to get in, they want to settle it. So if you do the math, 155,400,000, right? 4% of that, 6.2 million comes off. This is why as council, right? As council, as a collective, supported by our elders that are there and our technical team, said push back. So we push back. Because federal government will not pay for legal fees. But if we push back for more money, then that more money will cover most, if not all, of the legal fees that we have to pay for. So which means more money for the band. Right? Otherwise 6.2, like the deputy chief said, would be minus 155 or 150. And we're down at 143 something, or 144. Right? So you know, it's a lot of work. And people want to play politics with this. There's no politics to be played. We have a settlement offer of $155,400,000. That's the offer to Thunderchild. At the end of the day, Mamoy, and we're part of that as chief and council, part of the 18 and over that need to decide, are we in favor of that or are we not? Right? And the good work of past leadership carried on to this leadership is that bands are settling for less. We didn't accept less. We pushed for more. And that was guided by prayers by the elders. So everybody needs to take credit, because we all know about cows and plows. 8 of us here, we can't take credit. without acknowledging all those people that had their prayers to put into it. So inanaskumta, ikseitutame, igagisimoy, imamtanitame, so with that, enough from your chief and council, over to you. Oh, hold on. Portfolio holder, some comments here from Edmund John Newman.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to apologize for not being here. Actually, it was tough to come here today. My family lost a family member. So this is how important these decisions that we make today are. I was talking to my mom and she said, come, let's go. So, just to echo what the chief was saying about it took a long time to get to this position. A lot of leaderships have passed, and we've lost a lot of our people. And they didn't get to see this day. And so, but it's a beautiful day. It's a good day today. It's something to all to be happy and to celebrate that whatever we decide today, it's a good thing. And so Nista, 10 years Nista, I've been in this position, and I'm proud to be from Thunderchild. There's a lot of good things that are happening on this reserve. A lot of other reserves look to us as being a good example. And what I'd like to see in the next little while is all of us work together, that you pray for our chief and council, that we make these right decisions. Over the years, the past leadership, we traveled through snowstorms. We fed. Sometimes it was tough, but it was those prayers that kept us going. And now we're here today. And so, even though it's a tough day for my family, it's also a good day. And so I look towards, I have children, I look towards the future. Young people, you'll be sitting up here. Our time is coming to an end as leaders. And we want you guys to keep going. We have a lot of good things going, and with the prayers and a lot of good discussion and respect, we're going to get there. The last one, hi.
Anybody on the mic here? Okay, a mic will be brought to you. We'll have our elder here say a few words.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Raise your hands if you can hear me. Okay. I have a question for the chief and council. What they talked about is about the process of getting this money. My question is, where does it say on the paper that the band will get 15,000 for us, and also for any investment? We need to see that on paper. I'm asking the chief and council to show us on the paper, where does it say, where the government says we get 15,000? Because this money that I understand, this money belongs to the people. We're an independent band. The government has no say how this money is to be spent. It's up to the people, the band people. not the band and not the government. And if there is, we'd like to see that in paper, where it says that we, only the bands, the government comes in. Plus, we're an independent band. So that's my question.
As you know, this chief and council here works on facts. And I sent out the question because this was raised at Little Pine at their band meeting. Somebody raised a question about 15,000. So then one of the band members from there sent me a copy of the letter that they received. So then I inquired to the region ISC, Indigenous Service Canada in Regina, to the guy who's in charge of it. His name is Jason Y-E-W, right? And so here's his response. October 23rd, 7:17:33 p.m. Hi, Chief Wampass. I can assure you that ISC has not unilaterally or arbitrarily decided on an allowable exemption amount for a PCD. The on-reserve IA Income Assistance Program is delivered based on a provincially comparable model. This has been the case since it was introduced in the late 1960s. ISC receives funding from Treasury Board that comes with the condition that on-reserve IA, which is welfare, has to be delivered in a comparable manner to the province. This is why ISC does not define what the rate is for the on-reserve IA program. The province defines the provincial rates. Then we follow suit with the same. This is the same process in every province across Canada. The approach described above is similar in determining how a source of income will be treated as it pertains to someone receiving IA. As of July 25th, 2023, the province has changed their regulations for the provincial IA program, okay, listen to this, allowing up to 15,000 per member per settlement agreement as exempt income. This means a provincial IA client from Thunderchild, for example, who receives a PCD of 15,000 will not be cut off of provincial welfare. If a First Nation would like to provide a higher amount than 15,000 as a PCD and does not want it to impact those on IA, you would have to request a higher exemption from the province. Do I need to read more? Or is this enough backup?
Actually, what I was hoping to see was not a copy or something from somebody else, something directly to us that the government is saying that. Because I've been talking to a lot of people. I've got letters with me in here that I'm getting facts how it's done. The government has no say on this Yeah, I know what is money from way back. It came to our ancestors. This money was put aside for us. The government has nothing to do with it. They have no say. Why? I mean, a plus for independent man. I don't agree. I need to see. We should always be showing what's happening, not just by hearing from the people. Because people just write things just to say, this is what's happening, and it may not be happening. But if we see it ourselves in here, then we don't need to believe it, because this is our issue, this is our band. We don't need to be like others. We need to see the truth and get the truth. Like, this belongs to the people, it's not for investments. I don't know, where does it say that this money is going to go for investments? We hear a lot about addictions. They've existed all this time. We've had lots of money coming here before. Why wasn't that money used for addictions? All of a sudden we recognize addictions. All these people, new diagnosis, they've existed from before. Where did the money go? Why? This is only one financial. We think about the children. Because of this money, supposedly we're going to get, we think about our children. And they said, we've never depended on this money for children before. All of a sudden we do. All of a sudden we have all these things. That's not right. This money belongs to all you guys, all our children. Kaya kinakatamago na sunya. Money work the government and also too, independent of or an independent man. More than the government, they work a fix with how much we're going to get. If people want to get, like for me, I'm not ashamed to say, I'm 83 years old. I want full amount because I may not be here tomorrow. A lot of us are older. A lot of people, even 50 years old, we're losing our people. We storm it when the aisle with our own people. Our relatives got killed. And we all, the pain of one, all got killed. And Musika, I would say all 50 and up should all get the full pay. We got lots of young people passing every day. We don't know how long we're going to last. How many of us are over 80? Pensioners, 50 and up, they should all be paid full amount. We may seem a lot of money, but it would help us. But more useful when you think about it, like somebody said, $300 for money, where did it go? But a lot of us know where this money can go. We're not all into mucho. We can't judge people by mucho. These people are doing what they're doing because there's nothing for them to do. I wanted to share that. I don't like it. It hurts me. This is my community too. It hurts me when I say, and by Muchoche, and by what else is there to do in here? People have no homes. They're from they go somewhere. The door is closed on them. The puppet is just something with it. That's the only way how they can survive is feeling that real feeling that they have. They have no place to go. Other bands I know, Sunya, 20,000 they need. The bands are kicking in. I have to pay to buy houses houses for them. So they make a big house, there's little houses, please, they're washing down. Our grannies in Pektimaga, our grannies so poor, but people don't even know how poor this is because they've never been out. Believe me, I worked over 50 years. I see, it's a dog, I fight. When I see my people like stick, I always try to give what I can from my heart. Say, Taboy, Tumano, I see you, Kamusto, Kawi, Kazawi, Babati, the Maxi, I see you, the Ox, I see you. I think about that. All of us have no Masuya or Amigoya. Yeah, I have the investments. Put that on Mr. Sunya or Amigoya. Where do the investments go? Where do we go? I'm 50 years old. I've never been asked once to come to a meeting. All these years, never. The Demon Council come to Saskatoon. Not once has anybody ever phoned me to tell me, Celia, can you come? We need an elder. Don't have to be an elder, but at least go to the meeting and listen what's happening. I'm very interested in what's happening with the young people in here. I like to see progress. I like to see people being responding because we're all people. I'm no more than anybody else. We're all the same, we're all equal. I always experiment on with my eating. If I could come, my God, my I've never asked for anything. I've been a good citizen here. Not to say I'm well off, but I've worked over 50 years if they're trying to manage. And now I can't work anymore. And now maybe I need one. And nobody ever comes. Seven months of COVID. Not one cent came to me. Not one box of groceries came to my house. Other elders, they told me, the chiefs, they deliver groceries right straight from the people receipts, money, and everything. I never complained. I don't say anything. My God. But I wanted to clarify about this money. Good God. You know, the money is there. There's no way. And I know the people want money. These crazy people we think about, they make surprises. They have good thoughts. Don't they need to come to them this talk? They're like us. They're going. And then let them have no. We are saying that we love behind. They want me to be tomato. Whatever we're told right away, we believe. We better start asking. See if it's in paper. If is this true? Is this hearsay? Or what is it? Let's find out. Once we find out, we're okay with it. If that story is, then it is. Like, you know, thank you for listening to me, but I wanted to get our point across. I say, because of the number of people, the young people we've lost, 50 and even younger, I say 55 and up, we should all get full pay, whatever's coming to us, 49 or 50,000 or whatever. Look at this, how many of us need it? We have grandchildren, Japan. How long guaranteed how long we will be here? Our time is every day flipping. I'm new youth here. I'm not hiding. I'm asking the chief and council to consider us old people. New youth on behalf of the people here, all 55 and over should get full pay. Thank you. Hi.
Thank you, Elder. Very, very good speech, very, very good questions as to what's happening. I apologize. I should have said earlier that I've been requesting a letter from the provincial government, and the chief and council here can confirm that. We've had elders that were with us at the same time, and it's been about 2.5 months that I've been hammering our lawyers to get an answer for the provincial government. And I believe that they're doing it on purpose to keep us kind of out of the loop. And I myself, being the social development portfolio holder, I've been requesting a letter from each department in the social services at the provincial government level. I've requested the office to do it. I've requested the director of operations to do it. I've requested our lawyers to do it, to get this letter about the $15,000 cap which you were asking about. I've been asking, and for some reason this letter hasn't come yet. And I've asked for it myself repeatedly. So I'm just letting you guys know that that's a fact, that I've been asking for this letter that you guys want circulated. That's exactly what I said to our lawyers, is that I need this in writing so I can present it to our people for the next band meeting that we have, so that they can see it for themselves, that it's not just me telling you guys, it's the provincial government's decision on what they're trying to do. Now, like I said, because of that $15,000 cap, I myself, as well as Chief Wapaz here, we're going to the provincial government, and we're going to be trying to fight this exemption as to why it's so small, and that where we're trying to raise that for you guys, whatever that amount may be. I don't know what it is that you guys want as an amount for the PCD, but I'll agree to it, because that's your guys' money. You guys have that right to say how much you want from us. Okay, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I've been requesting this letter as the social development portfolio holder. I've been actually yelling for it. So just to let you guys know, that's a fact. Thank you.
I want to thank Celia Wistam for the good comments that they speaks with. And again, it may be, maybe some people are thinking that we're pushing for 15,000. We're not, you know, in fact, we're looking for a higher number. Just to let you guys know, just to be clear, so 15,000 is not the number the council, we all having that discussion. It'll be higher, just letting you know. So 15,000, that's what you think we're saying? No, that's not it. Yeah, but just to keep that in mind, again, and I believe the chief will comment on the facts. You may have some facts there, an email. I'm not too sure how you can. Okay, but I hope the email from the government. Again, you know, our elder here as well. He's like here echo. Is it clear out there? It seems like I have an echo there. Magaya, Kamamsku sabi now our elder investment. Again, in our earlier comments today, you know, we're just here to listen on what it is that So, you know, there was a comment here made that possibly some of the money will be invested. Again, it's not concrete. We're just trying to hear today what it is. I think that chief wanted to make a comment.
Again, and just reading, you know, some of the comments online, you know, don't say anything if you don't have facts. Well, I just read the facts, right? I got that from the email from Jason Yu, right? I asked a question, he emailed back orally in regards to what it is. The Pixies is going through the same thing, right? They're dealing with the exemption of $15,000. Because Red Pheasant didn't have to deal with this. Because they were the first one to settle. They were the first ones out of the block. Right? Because after that, where all these subsequent bands now that are settling their cows and plows are being subjected to. Even the language of you cannot go after Canada for future claims. It wasn't in their settlement agreement, but it's in all our settlement agreements. Right? So that's the difference here, right? So again, we wouldn't be raising it if it's not fact, but those of you who want to believe, take somebody else's word over, you know, the word of the guy that administers it. Yeah, we're an independent band. We are. But Canada can claw back whatever money they want. And we all know that, you know, so again, you know, we went through that in the past where we were giving more out, you know, on committees and stuff like that, and then it was being clawed back by IA, right? So we have to lower the amount. Because why do we want to give government money when we could be keeping that money ourselves? So, that's why. But to say that 15,000 is the amount no, it's not. We're just saying, just so you're aware of what the facts are, right? That's why we're raising it, right? And the last sentence I read on that email was that unless you get the higher amount approved by the provincial minister, well, that's what we're doing, right? We're trying to go after the provincial minister to move that 15 to a higher amount, right? So that's what Councillor Gerald's talking about, where we have a meeting set up with the Ministry of Saskatchewan, you know, to advocate for more than 15,000 for those that are high. Thank you.
We have Eldon, I believe, that wants to make a comment. Or are you just waving?
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I greet everybody here, all band members. It's good to see such a good turnout. Nasconto na kila ni anima, kutatusiwa na anima. The work of the leadership is very difficult, and decisions have to be made. I just wanted to, for the record, so it doesn't come up when we talk about figures, is that 15,000 should be outright rejected, and I'm prepared to make a motion. And the reason why it should be rejected is we have our sovereignty, we have our inherent rights, we have our treaty rights, and those will always trump provincial policy. Hey, can me. So we have to sometimes make those bold decisions, and I'm prepared to make that motion that we reject 15,000 based on those reasons. And that's a strong argument, because there are other areas that's unfinished business, like the Natural Resources Transfer Agreement, NRTA, that will come up for all First Nations. But we are with cows and cows right now. All of us know that there is a future. Our young people, our old people, everybody should be given that opportunity for their input. So as a band member, my name is Elvin Okeny. Chief James Okeny was my grandpa, lifetime chief. And we need to do things for the best interest of our nation, our people. So I am prepared to, if it requires that, to make a motion on this fine day that we reject 15,000, that we use our existing rights. And I asked a lawyer about this, find a way to get around that. So do we need a motion for that? Because I know council did not advocate for 50,000. That is my question. Do we need to make a motion to make it formal, Chief?
You don't need to make a motion on that. I guess moving forward, as we have the mic up here and Dwayne's gonna be the mic runner, is that one of the reasons why we're here is that we want to hear about the amount you think we want to get and the reason why. That would really help the council. You know, we've heard some good. She said that elders should get full pay. You know, that kind of makes sense. You know, and Eldon said 15,000's not good enough. And as a council, we also agree. Just remember, we also get the PCE too, so we want more than 15,000, so. But at the same time, as you go up, just tell us, and tell us what you want to spend and stuff like that. We'll take that into account, and when we do these, our consultation meetings, that's when we'll put on the big screen there, we'll put on all the costs and everything. We'll talk about everything there, because you'll have to vote for it. And so, I just want you to know that we're not trying to do anything, we're just trying to be really transparent. And so again, we have a mic. I suggest anyone to say a few words, to say it as moving forward. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Divina Fair. One of the questions I have for Mr. O'Keefe was, for the 15,000, if it's capped, is that capped per year, or is that for the whole lifetime, or do you know how many years that you're on IA? Like, do we know that, or can it be, if you get 15,000 the first year, can it be put in a trust, and you'll get another 15,000 next year then?
The way it was related to me by the provincial government is that this is a one-time payment here. Anything over and above this, as related to cows and plows, will be deducted. That's the wording of the letter and the information that I got from the provincial government. So we get 15,000 this year. Come on, Dwayne, please. Just kidding. So basically, sorry about that. I apologize. But it's a one-time exemption, meaning that once you get the $15,000, anything over and above moving forward will be deducted. If it's paid through the cows and plows benefits, that will be deducted over and above the $15,000. That's why the chief and I are going to be advocating with the provincial government to get rid of that $15,000, because we do believe that you guys deserve more. And as I look around the room, there's about 3/4 of the room here that is on income assistance. It's just a reality. That's all it is. And myself and the chief, we are advocating hard. And like I said, I apologize, I didn't have the letter today, but I'm still waiting for the provincial government explaining why, in detail, they only want to cap it at 15,000. And like I said, anything over and above 15,000 for the lifetime of the income assistance is going to be deducted. Okay? Does that answer your question? Thank you.
And I'd also like to know what's chief and council's position in this. What do you want to see happen? Just so in case, people don't get mad at you or whatever. Like, how much do you want us to get? And if you want us to invest in it, invest money, where do you want that money to be invested into?
I think there would be more than one of us that wants to respond to that. But in regards to, I want to add to the comment there, Gerald made regarding 15,000. Right away, we did try, ask questions and options, possibly installments, if you can get that money in installments. No, they'll get you, at the end of the day, they'll get you, so that 15,000 is the max there. In regard to what it is that we would like, I think we made it clear, we want the people to give us some direction, as to how the money should be. Again, I don't want to say investments are not going to need that, but we just want to hear from you first, before at some point possibly at the informational session we may have some ideas that we would like you guys to think about. But today is strictly feedback from our people on what it is that the payout, the PCD. That's kind of where we're at today. Okay, Chief here has pointed out on top here, he read out an email, that's from ISC INAC, Jason Yu. Hold on, I'll get the mic to.
So here's my question to Jason. Good afternoon, Jason. I'm inquiring about a rumor I'm hearing that ISC has unilaterally decided on allowable exemption under IA as it relates to specific claims PCD payouts. If this is the case, it would be disappointing to know those nations affected weren't invited to be part of the discussion and decision-making process. Can you confirm if the rumor mill is true, which I hope is not the case? Thank you. Now, go to his response. Okay, there's a delay. Right? And so here's his response. That's what I read to you guys, was the response. Right? Right there. So stop there for a sec. Let people read that. I did. I can assure you that ISC has not unilaterally or arbitrarily decided on an allowable exemption amount for a PCD. The on-reserve IA program is delivered based on a provincially comparable model. This has been the case since it was introduced in the late 1960s. ISC receives funding from Treasury Board that comes with the condition that on-reserve IA has to be delivered in a comparable manner to the province. This is why ISC does not define what the rate is for the on-reserve IA program. The province defines the provincial rates. Then we follow suit with the same. This is the same process in every province across Canada. Okay. We'll go off by itself, right? All right, there we go. The approach described above is similar in determining how a source of income will be treated as it pertains to someone receiving IA. As of July 25th, 2023, the province has changed the regulations for the provincial IA program, allowing up to 15K, which is 15,000 per member, per settlement agreement as exempt income. This means a provincial IA client from Thunderchild, for example, who receives a PCD of 15,000 will not be cut off of provincial income assistance, IA. If a First Nation would like to provide higher amount than 15,000 as a PCD and does not want it to impact those on IA, you would have to request a higher exemption from the province. With this exemption in place, ISC will follow suit to ensure on-reserve IA clients are not adversely affected when receiving a PCD. Currently, there is a 15,000 exemption in place through the province, which ISC is also honoring. A PCD of up to 15,000 received by someone on and off reserve in receipt of IA will not affect their IA entitlement. This income will not be included in determining financial need for the IA program. If you have any other questions about this or require further clarity, don't hesitate to reach out to Jason J.A.U., Regional Program Director, Program Development Team Lead, Social Development Unit, Income Assistance in Business Service Canada, Saskatchewan Region. There's the email, there's the phone number. So if you don't believe me, call him. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I'm just going to clear up something here because as a band member myself, and I worked on this program with band-specific claims and PLE as well as this process here for some time. I say, you know, ese Chief Aswanis, former Chief Dale Wasis, and some of the comments that he had asked me to work as a stop. I was to go ask my grandma, she was 106 years old at that time, about this whole process. This was like what, 10 years ago now. Whatever we're talking about here, we're getting kind of sidelined here. Not everybody's on welfare. I'm not on welfare. I don't care about the problems people do, whatever they can do. But what Chief Council has asked us here is, how much do we want? I want all of it too, but if it's $25,000, good enough. I could use that to pay off my bills and go back to zero. You know? So let's start talking about that, okay? Because if you start talking about welfare, I'm not on welfare. I'll never be on welfare. I'll still go to work tomorrow, you know? Let's not get sidetracked here, because that's kind of disrespect to guys like me and women that work every day on and off the reserve. All right, let's move on. Let's get some money going.
That's it. Just on tour here, you guys will know me as Brandon Oakley. Keep your stories to yourself. Thank you, Chief and Council, our elders, our people for being here. I hear a lot going on. Myself, I can be confused, right? What's this, what's that? I heard the 15, I heard the 30. I've been talking lots with Leonard, as he's my brother, and I have nothing but faith in him and being a council member. I heard you guys say that you're meeting with the provincial government to deal with that, because we do have to take into consideration our people who are hurting, our people who are addicted, our people who are on social assistance. They're part of our community. This is about community. We all deserve the same or equal, if we want to use the word equal, payment, despite what your life is, despite how much you're making. Despite if you're on reserve or off reserve, we are all people. I used to be called Moonians every single day, and I mean, obviously why? No matter where I go, I represent Thunderchild. I'm Mohawk from Six Nations, Ontario. My blood's not here. My heart is. My little babies, they're half status. They're going to benefit from this. We have to think long term. We also have to think short term. Our elder said, how long you got here? I understand that. And I think we need to look at what are options. What can our leaders help us say, here's what we're thinking about. Right? Now, you're going to be up here next. Maybe after her she wants to speak, but you have some good ideas. I've been talking to people. Do I want 100K? Hey, I'll take 100K, I'll take 50K. More than 15. I agree with everyone else. But it really needs to be looked at. Transparency, I heard it up there, John. Transparency. If I don't know what's going on, if you guys don't know what's going on, how do we even say, well, I want this much? Every choice has a consequence. Every choice we do is it's gonna affect us in the future. It's gonna affect us now. We're gonna see overdoses. More. I'm an addictions counselor back in Saskatoon, Free Senior. I work at the correctional center. I'm contracted. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm a recovering addict. Back then, I would have drank that money away. I don't want to see that here. So how do we come together and think not just individually, but as community? That's what this money's about. It's about treating. My son there, he's 9 years old, and he knows about treating, and he knows those treaties were broken. But how do we make a decision if we don't know what's going on? Where's that paper? Put those posts up. What the government's saying, what we're saying, where we're supporting you. So I have faith that you guys are going to make decisions on behalf of us as Chief and Council, because that's what Chief and Council is. When we vote, when you guys are done, we need to vote healthy people into Chief and Council so they can hear us. Not just so we're getting benefit. Let's come together. You guys let us know what your options are. Give us the A, B, C, or D. Here's what we're thinking. Now, come up here and tell me your idea. Thank you.
Patrick, you got some relevant words? George Wilson,
I'm trying to.
I'd like to say, we're looking for $45,000 each. I'm a urban business opportunity of a small business. Hopefully some of our managers is not going. really use that money to, like, want to invest more in my business. And really open to, like, if anyone wants to move offers there, opportunities for employment. A lot of us want to buy houses and stuff like that. 5% down payment. Inflation and all that is super high. It's easier to buy a house and, or it's better to pay mortgage. It's cheaper than that. So, yeah, I'd like to thank you for your great work. I agree. You should be benefiting from that money right now, and the future is now. We have opportunities to start businesses and help each other out and give opportunity. That's what we got to do now. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlon. I have something again we want to hear back from the membership miners. Don't forget, we want to have some feedback on the miners as well. The miner money.
Good afternoon. My name is April. Metus, that was the name that I was born with. I was a 60 scoop child and taken away. I've never been able to go out here. But I've learned that when, in the time that I've been away, and I'm back here now for a season, I might be a little bit more than a season. But what I have learned is that when people dictate our lives, we need to get to a point within ourselves and ourselves as a community. As we're talking about community, we need to get ourselves into agreement with each other and not fight. The fight is with the government. And I, for one, break agreement with the fact that they can dictate what we can do and what we cannot do and how much funds we can get or not. If we rise up as a nation, and Thunderchild First Nation is destined to thunder around this world. Who wrote the song? Somebody said he wrote a song and entitled it Thunderchild. That's gonna go globally. It's gonna go. We, each of us, have a calling on our lives. And it is to rise up and be stronger than what we think we are and who they said we are. No more. I think it's time that we push back against the government. They don't have a right to say, Chief and Council, they don't have a right to say to us, you need to do this. I stand with what the decisions are. I honor our elders. I honor you. I think that our elders should be taken care of. I think that our elders should be taken care of. I think that our young children and our people should be taken care of. There should be no more missing children. There should be no more children taken away. I'm back here, and I want to stand for our nation and push back as hard as I can. And he mentioned prayers, the prayers of the elders that have got us this far. As a community, we should be praying that we have the strength and the strategies and the wisdom to stand up against the government. They are not who put us on this land first. The Creator did. He put our footsteps here. And I don't want to stand another day with those in the powers that they think they have and say that, no, this is only what you get. This is only what you get while they are living and killing our people and killing our children. Let's not fight. Let's fight together and get what it is that we deserve as people. When I say the full 50,000, and we're going to get more than that, I'm going to make that declaration, and we're going to get more than that. We can bankrupt this government if need be, if people realize who they are and what we can do. This is our land, this is our territory. That's all I have to say.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, all band members. That it's stressed about, the people that are on welfare. I think that they should get the same amount as everybody else, but about the 15,000, put it on a long-term deposit for them, so they can use it for the future, for their grandchildren, their children. That's what I have to say for. I'd like to support the people on welfare to get the full amount, but the 15,000, give it to them, put the rest in the long-term deposit as they see fit for themselves. Thank you.
I have to keep turning this on, shutting it off with the battery.
Just to follow up on Pauline's comments about it. It's not that we just want to give people on assistance 15,000. We're going to give them whatever we get. If it's 20,000, people on assistance will get 20,000. And I think Councillor Oakney and Chief Wapas, when they go to Regina, they will. And I've been in rooms with these leaders. They'll push hard, and I think they'll get it done. And that's why we want to hear from you. So when we go to Regina, when we go to Ottawa, we have the people behind us. So that's one of the reasons why we have these meetings. To engage, to hear from you. When we head to these places to meet with government, this is what we can say. The people told us, fix it.
Jerry, okay?
Barry and then Annette. Annette wants to say a few words. Jerry?
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to speak here. Right off the bat, that $15,000 has to be declined. It's not acceptable. As a matter of fact, what the provincial government is doing there, I never did like Scott Mooney. I won't vote for the guy. Anyway, of all the issues and problems we have in a community with addiction and so on, they're real. What's coming down also is bad reparations. That is a settlement that has been approved by the federal court. And there is roughly half of the bands in Canada that opt in. In Saskatchewan, about 34 bands have opted in. Thunderchild is one of them. I have to be in Laurent on the work on behalf of the band, and Bonnie Missions was there, a lawyer. And that settlement was settled out of court, and it was reached, and the federal court has approved it. And it's in excess of $1 billion. If you don't believe me, most of you are holding a cell phone. Look it up, it's there, called band reparations. Basically, what that settlement does is it'll give you $200,000 for planning, and you get an annual installment. That's about $500,000 a year. At the end of 20 years, you get a lump sum. Now, to access those dollars, there's 4 areas that you have to propose against. One is language, culture, wellness, that's where addictions will fit in, and heritage. That settlement is specific. That is what you propose, and it's coming down. And just the other day I received an email. I wanted to know the details so I could give it to the councilors, our portfolio. I work with Billy and Leonard over there. And that's the recent one. A disbursement interim board has been formed. So they will be contacting the band with other details, guidelines to access those dollars. And after, you need a 20-year plan, after 10 years it's reviewed. So there's other monies coming down as well, and that's where addictions, or you're gonna propose against one of those pillars or multiple pillars, those areas. So at the bottom line is that when the government says you cannot make any more claims, specific claims, and it's a long process, as we've heard, is to reject that $15,000 cap. And then I would be prepared to make that motion as well and second that motion as well. But the other information I just said is that, look it up on the internet, it's there, it's coming down. It's real. Thank you.
You guys walk out of three eyes? Rather.
Good afternoon. Kahit tatang sa mga tema. Minumigano, mama, minumigano. In a nice home, I'm thankful to all the people that have made comments. And I also always feel for the leaders of my community. I pray daily, morning and evening, for all the people of my community, the children, people that are sick, the people that are traveling. But I really believe in honesty, sincerity, equality. We're all creations of the Creator. We're all related. And I thank my sister-in-law and her words. I thank her for that. I know it's very hard to talk your feelings out, and it brings anger to some people. Magaya, I'm not no different. I'm 84 years old. I said that to my kids. I said, if I have to ask how much I want the full amount. I don't know if I'll wake up tomorrow or next day. And I also realized that where we're at right now is for us to give at least give our words for chief and council to listen to us, and we can express our feelings. And also that, I always feel so sad and kind of sorry for chief and council. The people voted you in there. The people voted you in there. And I read Facebook, not very much because I don't like what I read, and I never make comments because you allow that humanness to emerge, and you get offended or you get angry. Those are emotions and feelings that people get, and then it's not only at one person, but it tends to just like affect everybody else around that person. When there's something happening to one of my family members, and now I have a great big family. All my siblings have gone ahead of me, and I've been asked, do you feel alone? I said no. My siblings left. They left all their children, grandchildren, and chapans. I said, I don't have no money, but I said I feel rich because my family just grew. And I pray for that family, my sisters and my brother's kids and grandchildren. The love that I have for them and my community, I pray for. I pray for the sick. Every night I pray for the babies, the children, so that they won't have nightmares, and I always think those are my future, the future leaders of our community. And those are the people that have been in the words of our ancestors that have gone on past. Our ancestors have met with government. Our ancestors have waited for the promises made to them. They left this land still waiting. And here we are, in this day and age. We are here, and we're dealing. We have the power. We have the land that teaches us natural laws of nature, lessons right on the land. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. What you're born into is what you're going to be. And to respect and honor that spirit within you is the strength of your being. You may feel offended when you hear things or you read things on Facebook. Earlier coming in, I think Chief mentioned cell phones. Don't worry about me bringing my cell phone in here. I left it at home. But when I look around, when there's people talking, I see some people just their fingers are going and reading their whatever they're reading. But I really appreciate coming here today, and I wouldn't have been here if my neighbor didn't pick me up and say, "You want to go to that meeting?" And I said, "I've been waiting, but I've never get a ride anymore. They used to pick me up before, but now I don't. I'm at home." And there's a lot of things that need to be said about elders. You'll get there, Chief and Council. You're our future elders. You will feel what it is we're feeling. I think, whatever people decide here, but I myself personally agree with my John here. I'm a few weeks or months older than her, but I'm glad that she said all that she said. Because I don't think things like that need to be repeated. If it's said once, we should hear it. And I'm hoping that Chief and Council, you will hear us, listen to us, and I hope that we're able to give you an idea of what it is we want. I know that we are suffering from, we've lost a lot to suicide, we've lost a lot of people through illness, old age. So darn fool that I am, I want to take training in mental health, just in case somebody invites me to talk to youths or something like that. But I sit at home. I try my best, even if it's just through prayer and the love of my people, I try my best. Well, you cannot blame the parenting of our children when they make choices. Some make the wrong choices. You cannot put that on the parenting, because some of our children make the wrong choices, and that's because we're not listening. It shouldn't affect the parenting of the children if our children make the wrong choices. And alcohol, drugs, men, they're stealing the lives of our children. I really believe there's a lot of things that can be done, and and everything requires money.
No.
Everything. Even if it's just shelters, we have homeless people. We have homeless people. We have people that are walking and crawling around at night still to this day. In our history, the teachings that we got from our ancestors, our children should not even be outside the doors after the sun goes down. And when we say Indian time and we laugh about it, we laugh together about it, you're on Indian time when somebody walks in late or something. But it's not true. What is Indian time? You got up with the sun and you went down with the sun. And you rest after that. You know, the parenting. We can talk about language. We can talk about language. There's ways that can be done with our schools, language. You know, there's many things that we need to hear and know about. Teaching, about education of our children, about learning the language. You're going to be teaching the children their language. You're going to have to bring in the parents too, the young parents with them, so that they learn together. You know, we have our language. Where the Creator put us. That's who we are. Like I said it many times, what you're born into is what you're going to be. Indus kamu kaskini sun. Imo kamu kaskumes kano. Nobody has to say, well, our eyes, we see people, we see things. Well, use your eyes to see good things in people and the things that are good that's happening around you and build upon that. Your ears, we hear things. But if we hear things and you're just hearing it, you're not sure if it's true or not, don't go what you hear passing it on over to somebody. That's gossiping. And there's too much of that, and that's a sickness itself. I'm saying all that, and I'm not shy to say it because I love people. I love coming out and being with people. Because now I'm hibernating, I stay home because winter's here. Winter's here. A few times one of my kids will probably take me out this fencing day. Then they say, give me your list, give me your card. And they go and drop me off at the casino. And the only buttons I know how to press is at the casino buttons. That's why I make a lot of mistakes on my phone and I don't bother you. Then they say, why don't you answer your text? Why don't you answer your phone? And I say, my phone's dead. It's just because I don't want to interrupt anybody. But I'm not going to waste your time, but I hope you're hearing me. You keep doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter if somebody throws that poop at you. We listen to the government too much. You know what? We listen. The government says this, the Korean provincial government says that, and we listen. We are a people. We are a nation. We have the natural laws of nature. We listen too well as people. They tell us no more smoking in the house, in the car, you know, but you go ahead and you can poop inside. Next time.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Ross. Before our next speaker, real quickly, as we're sitting up here, we are getting messages from our band members as well that could not be here today, you know, so, and I just want to read one here. I think it's important for Chief and Gerald, you know, one of our band lawyers, you know, texted me here as she's listening. I understand there's about 363 people that are online listening to today's meeting. There might be more, it might be less, but not the way. But what our lawyer said was, oh, here's my phone, my BlackBerry, hold on. It didn't die. But what she said was regarding that cat, you know, this is what she said to me here. The residential school and day school payments up to $250,000
did not affect SA. It was negotiated. So that's something good. That's real good for us. You know, that's what the chief and Gerald and whoever they want to take along with them. I'm sure they'll use that when they sit down with the minister. So I'm good, so I just want to share that with you. Again, one of our band lawyers here sent that to me just to so thank you.
Good afternoon, Tatamskadna Olatio, and just a couple suggestions. Maybe you did this or maybe you did this already, but there were other First Nations that paid out PCDs of more than 15,000, some maybe 20,000, some 40,000. Maybe reach out to them to see what process they used or how they negotiated with government, just so you know you have some background information. And the second one is for the PCDs, for the per capita distribution. Maybe if we think something, I'm just going to throw a figure out there, like if we say 35,000 per person, if we advance 30,000, and then I know people don't like this word, but investments, but invest the rest of the money, and then maybe have a per capita distribution each year of $1,000 for the next 5 years, so that equals $35,000 per person. Those are just my comments. Thank you.
There's a question online, we're going to entertain it. For a few questions.
Could you ask your question, please? Go ahead.
Can they type their question? We can't hear it.
That's what we were trying to tell them before, just to ask about it, and we can put it on the screen for you guys.
Excuse me, could you type out your question there, and that way we're having audio problems here, we're all watching you. You can put it on the comment section there, and we'll read it out here at the meeting for you. Thank you.
While he's doing that, there's another question here that I was talking to Councillor Melvin. He's talking about the minors. So 18 and under, what are we going to do there? So we're going to open the floor for that. Is it that, are we going to give something to the minors now? Are we going to put in trust? Those things. So that's something I would like to engage the people here. But I think, Sim, you want to say a few words here? Okay, all right. But Councillor Mel had asked me that. So that's something to think about. We'll get to it. But is that question up yet or no? If not, we'll go to, oh, hold on here. I guess we'll go to Sim.
You know Thunderchild?
It comes back off. Then he's done 53 years old, you know, had all my life had some addictions and all that. I'm sober now, 15 months sober. I guess I just wanted to tell you guys my teachings that I learned. We learned a lot from the buffalo, eh? And the buffalo a long time ago, when you see that storm coming, that buffalo straight that storm, going through it, got beat up, but it always came out first. Fresh water, fresh air, everything like that. Everything came in, everything was fresh. But other animals, including humans, they run away from the storm. They're under that storm, the storm catches up to them. And they're getting beat up. You know, and I think Thunderchild, this is where we're at. We're getting tired of getting beat up by the storm. And this 1,000 pounds, that's our light, the end of the tunnel. So if we all work together, and we make that buffalo and attack that issue of 1,000 pounds, let's all work together and come out of it. All of us come out fresh, grass, everything. Like some people that place like, yeah, just give you guys that quote, please. Okay, yeah. Your Honor. JR? Is it JR? No, I think JR first. JR first down. And then I didn't see JR.
Hello everybody, Alex Beachow Jr. Thunderchild. I just had a question. What is the total population of Thunderchild First Nation? Because we asked for a number, right? So if it's about 155 million after it's all said and done, but 149 million, if the population is like 3,000, that's like $49,000, $50,000 a piece. So what is the population of Thunderchild First Nation? Because I think we all, kind of want our money split evenly. Does that make sense? Not just like, hey, a random number. I want $1 million. But we don't have that. It's basically how much money is set aside for everybody as well. How about all the people that have been recently deceased? What happens to their money? I'm pretty sure we've all lost loved ones. I lost my brother 2 months ago. What happens to his money? So those are my questions, and just leave it over to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Good words.
Hi, my name is Donna Passman. All I want to know is why can't you guys have a welfare meeting with the welfare people and see what they want? I know a lot of the welfare people need furniture and they need some of their floors fixed, and there's quite a few people that are starving every 2 weeks after, because I know I have 2 on welfare that come to me and ask me, Mom, I need groceries. Why don't we ask the welfare people what they want?
That's a very good question, Don. Thank you for that. I absolutely agree. If there's programs and ideas that you guys think that are worth putting forth for people that are on social assistance, bring them forward. That's what we need to hear. Like I said, this 15,000 is not set in stone. We're fighting it. We're going to fight it for you. We're taking off to that government office here pretty quick, and we're going to tell them that we're not going to accept the 15,000. Okay? So I just want to make that clear for everybody. And I just want to address another thing that's happening online here. There's questions here about my sunglasses. Sunglasses never come off, and they never have. I don't know why that's an issue here when we have a $155 million lawsuit that we're trying to talk about here. So just to let you know, don't waste time on my sunglasses, please. Anyways, yeah, Donna, thank you. And as far as having a meeting with the people who are on income assistance, I'm all for it. If that's what you guys want, I'd love to sit up here and hear your ideas and hear your thoughts about what we should do if, God forbid that we can't move forward past the 15,000. What are we going to do? That's why we're here today. Can you guys please focus on giving us numbers, giving us ideas? I love what the conversations are about, but I've only heard, I think, 3 numbers yet: 20,000, 45,000, and 50,000. And then I heard JR make the comment of splitting it all up to 149, everybody equally. That's what we need to hear. Okay? That's what I want to hear. I just brought forth the issue that it's a fact that the government is trying to cap that 15,000. It's not set in stone yet. I'm going to be fighting. I'm going over there to fight. I'm not scared of it. And yeah, I'm going to take my glasses off when I see them too.
get it. Last week, we will come up. But, yes, I think we have a question from Lois over here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Lois LaFawn. So I came here today just to speak on behalf of my son. I have a son with a disability. I have a registered disability savings plan, and I would like to be responsible for my son's money to be deposited with the government because they match this. Whatever deposits I make, they'll match. So I think instead of like for a son going into trust, can we not have them like dispersed to us to pay for our own trust? We have a side for our children. And the other thing I'd like to touch on is the urban band members. I work off reserve, and I live on reserve. So I can understand the hardships of like when you have a taxed income, and you can either be living in a line of credit or you're living on your credit cards. $45,000 per band member would actually be enough to help with the debt that you're incurring for like working off reserve, living off reserve. Like it's very important and everything, and I find it very hard to save and put aside money because the inflation in the world is very like demanding. Like you have to transport your children to school as well as yourself. You have to get from here to there each day. Fuel is not cheap. Groceries is no longer cheap. The average family spends about $2,000 a month in food. So like I think this, if we can argue for them, leadership can argue for them to at least getting us a decent amount rather than what they're trying to give us. You guys are leadership and you guys have that in you to fight for your people. And I think we'd all appreciate that because you all sit in a very powerful position to speak in our voices. And I have very much faith in you guys to argue for that. I believe it a lot in you guys for doing this, if you can do this for urban children, the elders, everybody's entitled to what they need in life. And that's all I have to say.
Also, moving forward, I'm just writing down the name and suggestions, is that also when we talk about, I think Jerry brought it up, about reparations. This isn't the only claim. This isn't the only claim that's going on in Indian country. We have the NRTA claim, the Natural Resources Transfer Act claim. That's another huge claim. We also have the $5. Every year we get $5 for treaty, and we've never put interest. Our relatives from Ontario recently settled that claim, and it was $20 billion. And so we'll be also filing a claim for that too. Another claim is the railroad. We never were compensated for the railroads that went through our lands. And so, Chief and Council, we're already doing that. We're already looking forward. And so, this is the start. This is the start of, we're fighting really hard to get what we deserve. And so it just doesn't stop with cows and plows. Thank you.
Dan Member Corey Angus, please.
Hello everybody, my name is Corey Angus, son of Leslie and Doreen Angus. So it was stated before that there was a fact. The fact, it would have been nice to have provided copies of emails and correspondence prior to this meeting. This is a lot of information so big. It was posted on Sorry about that. But there was a lot of information to be absorbed here, and if you go to any documents or anything, I'm making notes, but there's a lot of people that they're going to have family members asking what's going on, and it's going to be hard to regurgitate this information. The end of documents. It would have been nice to have something offhand before, and then also it would also provide a copy of action taken, like just a breakdown on this date, on this date, on this date we did this, on this date we did this. All of a sudden there's all this information that's just thrown at us. And again, it would have been nice to know. Because there's so many questions, it's so vague. Everybody's getting angry because there's no information that's being shared. It's so frustrating. So again, there was asking us to invest. That was question was brought up. To invest or what? There's no audit. No records of incoming or outgoing funds. There's no disclosure on banned entities. So for us to invest, to put money in on any return, when was the last time there was an audit? Like, we don't know. What are we investing in? We don't know. There's no audit. Nothing. Again, no disclosure on banned entities. No minutes of the last meeting. It was mentioned that somebody had said that there was nothing, no ideas brought up with regards to addiction. There was a Amitas guy that stood here, and he was saying how he was fighting addiction. I'm sure he'd be full of ideas. I can't remember if he did bring up a suggestion, but I remember he was very passionate about how to help him, how to help others. And I really respected him for that. Sorry, it was just frustrating. So, a question is, was there a loan on the 155 million? Is there something in the works? Is there something we don't know about? Why are they asking us now? So were they pre-planning, trying to pass something on us? I don't know. Last band meeting, they did the same thing. So if we're in a referendum, there's a 30-day notice for a band meeting. There should be 30 days notice for every band meeting. This was a 4-day notice for this band meeting. Again, no documentation, nothing. So all this information regurgitated at us. So 30 days in a referendum on the band notice, that leaves us 2 weeks before Christmas. Is this going to be done? And if so, is there an action to take out a loan to pay us out before we receive this money? And if so, if there was a loan, what are the interest rates? That would be, for example, I was to loan you $10, but I want $1 back. I'm knowing that you're getting $10. So when you get your $10, you only get $9 because you owe me my money. Are we investing? Sorry, is there a loan out on the money that we have, or we have to pay back interest, so we're losing money? I don't know. Again, the full amount, I believe we're all entitled to a full amount. We should receive everything. And with that money, like, there was mentioning of, there's a lot of mentioning earlier of addictions and to help out. We have a marijuana company. Why don't we use our profits to invest in a treatment center? I don't know. And then for investing, I'm very cautious if the ban was to use my money to invest. Again, audits. Audits. So we're investing in a company an entity that's not providing us any disclosure on anything. And then even with the percentage tip back that we put into trust, how do you expect us to put money into a trust or in a new trust where the old trust was broken? The TLE was supposed to be untouchable, but yet money was transferred to TLE into there's like 2 other entities, 2 other trusts, or even a 3rd trust was created with no trustees apparently. There's been no information on that because we had no trustees for the trust. And then our last band meeting. Where are the band minutes? Don't know. So unless you weren't at the last band meeting, what information you have carrying forward, we don't know. I think I'm very skeptical on leaving money behind to the band to be invested or to be put into trust because there's no information shared where this money goes or how it's spent. We have band entities, we have businesses, nothing. And that's just where my mistrust is. Thank you.
All good questions. Thank you very much for your questions, Corey. I don't know how many earlier heard me talk about options, right? You know, the very questions you asked, you're asking Corey is what I talked about. I don't know if you were here or if you got here late, but I did talk about it. Yep. So, it's easy. We don't need to take a loan, right? We'll just wait for 3 months, you know, for the regular process. And you don't have to pay out any money. Anybody knows common sense. You borrow money, you gotta pay on interest. You gotta pay the loan, right? It's common knowledge. So that's the option, right? It's only an option. And we disclosed everything on what and how the process will have to unfold if the community as a whole wants PCD payments on or before Christmas. Right? We talked about that. Mga way, tutska tangi way, you know, kwe segwa me kwen stu tumuy tan, you know, tan segwa me ispay. Kaki wikachi mo start na tan segwa. Mga ay sa watson tuan, mga way no tongi wen tuan. Mga kwe se kwen stu tumuy tan se, kistin se maksun yaw kitoy ma, wapo kan tantam. We want money right away, we gotta get a loan. But we need to hear that, right? It's not Chief and Council deciding that. Kia no, as a whole. What do we want? To say that this is what Chief and Council wants? Moya, never once did we come here to say this is what we want. Epe kwitige mo tanse. Epe pet tamagong tanse. Nisanan pakskit mo ya tanse is paksemwe. They told you to skip in our tanse, you know, dancing way. That's what band meetings are about. So, you know, if we want a loan, if we want money before Christmas, and we're going to give it our best shot, the only way to do it is to get a loan. No other way. Because the government process is that once we ratify the vote, we send it to Ottawa. Ottawa sends back the letter. If we're going to wait for Ottawa to send us a check, it's going to take about 3 months. That's just how long it takes, 3 to 4 months. But if we want it earlier, the only way to get money earlier is to get a loan. And if you get a loan, yeah, you got to pay it. And you got to pay interest. No different than if you get a loan for a vehicle. Any kind of loan. Even from your auntie. Interest is worse. But, you know, that's where that's at. You know, nobody came here to talk about investments. We came here to talk about the amount. Right? We came here to talk about how much. All this other stuff, there's a band meeting for that. But today, we want to know how much. Right? And so, again, I can appreciate the mistrust. I can appreciate that. Those are fair comments, Corey. Right? But I have a track record. And I'll stand on my track record. And I can tell you that for the time that I was chief, I never bothered the trust. I never once did anything with the trust. Well, there's the TLE, there's specific claims. Those are the only 2 trusts. Right? So,
Can we ask you to come to the mic, please?
Or you can go to her.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shelley Lynn Angus, and my father is Les Angus. My mother is late Irvina Angus. My cookman was late Julia Angus, Nee Tutusis, and Muslim was Harry Angus. First of all, now that I have the mic, earlier on, when you sat up here, or you stood up here, Delbert, and you made a funny remark about people liking appeals. I didn't appreciate that as a woman from this band to hear you make fun of us. My sister, Senapan, and me. I did that for a reason, people. I didn't do that for my own self-gain. I didn't run. I sat as a scrutineer to ensure that our election process was fair, just, that people would be accountable for their actions at the end of the day. I didn't in any way, shape, or form agree with the way that that election was run. Right from the nominations to the election day to the governing bodies that sat and oversaw the election and the ballots. I didn't agree with that either. Nor the things that I seen outside and texts that I read. That's why I stood up and I wanted to say something so all of us band members have an equally fair and just election. That's why I did that. And Delbert, I'll do it again. I didn't like that, and I honestly believe that you actually owe us an apology. That was actually really unprofessional, and you're supposed to be talking all good here with government. Do you talk to government like that? No.
I think
all of us?
I think we need to stick to that.
I just wanted to address that.
Again,
John, let me talk.
I will.
You had all of you guys talk for an hour and a half.
I just want to know.
I want to talk too.
But
So I'd like an apology.
Let her talk.
It had to be said. I have a voice. And I didn't like that.
And we will have a band
I didn't like that, John.
This is
I didn't like that, John.
for how much I wanted to get.
Let me talk. Let me talk. Well, that's okay. And in regards to our,
You can stick to the issue.
I am. Can you be quiet so I can finish?
No problem.
I'll give him the microphone here shortly.
All right.
Just
Thank
wait.
you.
Just wait. Let me talk. So regarding our cows and plows, people, this is our money. This is money that all of us are deserving from all of our ancestors that have come before us, that have suffered, moving from Delma to here. This Chimock's land. That cows and plows is for each and every one of us. That's our compensation for all that suffering. So when it comes time to vote, vote to have all of your money. Because if it goes to anybody else, it's not going to be managed properly. Look at our trusts. Look at all of our investments. When was the last time we had an audit? And that's all I wanted to say. That's why I drove here 2.5 hours, is to say my piece. Thank you.
Stay on the subject with the house and plows. I got an email the lawyer for the Peter Valentine band is not taking anything, no percentage. That's what Scano is already, our chief and council say, 4% cut back there. That's 6 million. That's a lot of money to pay. And what it says in here, some reserves, the lawyers aren't taking anything. Like, you know, that 6 million is a lot of money. So however long it takes to do that. And who is doing the paperwork? Even right now, who's taking the notes? Are we going to see those notes, what we talked about today? We have to start getting records of what we talk about, what is said. That's being transparent. It's a money, for me anyway, I've never seen anything documented what's done in the past. All the businesses we have, I've never seen anything. All the investments, I don't know what investments are, where they are. One thing I know for sure, at one point, by miracle, I was on the board. We had over 700 cattle, and I know how it's working. What happened to the 700 cattle? From then on, we've always had cattle, but we never know where they go. Those are the things we need to ask. Where are they going? Who is in charge? Who do we benefit? Are those the investments? We're investing for somebody else to pocket the money? Like, you know, we need to know that. We need to start asking what's done for us, where our money is going. And then the other thing that says in here is that fee, like even 4%, that's 4 million. And who is our lawyer? We need a very experienced lawyer to handle this. We don't want, I'll say, I don't know who's the lawyer, but we don't want a pipsqueak, a new one. We need a lawyer that's experienced, that's good with figures, to handle this money. Like 4 million is a lot of money. Like, you know, does this person have a lot of experience? Or like, oh my goodness, is that a 1-day, 2-day job? 4 million? I don't know. Those were the texts that I got to ask, to bring about, so we know how much are we paying for our lawyer. Other places, they don't pay. The bands, the lawyers refuse to get any money. I just wanted to bring that up to make sure that it's heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I guess I'll reintroduce Mr. Monitor here. Please, people, let's stay on course here. We're talking about the dollar amount. I haven't heard anybody say, give us 50,000 or, you know, we're hung up on the welfare money. Who cares about the welfare money? You know, let's say I want 30,000, I want 50,000. Come on, people.
50 then.
That's it. My name is Isabel Pass, and I'm glad to see a lot of you here tonight, this evening. And yes, it is a tough position where chief in the leadership are today. I want to share some input from my grandmother that had passed away, Bella Pass. She had told me a long time ago, she said, you're gonna see things change. And my brother, Richard Thunderchild, I was sitting with him and he told me, he said, Lindsay, you know, your grandfather talked to me at Lodge, Sundance. One day, you guys are gonna be paying for water. Today, how many of us can pay $5 for this water? And you guys are all here sitting here complaining about money. My Gokam always used to say, money is going to control you. Money is going to separate you and your families, your communities. And that's what I see here. I've been home 9 years. I've been married off this nation for 25 years. And I am glad for the people that have turned their lives around from drug addictions. And I'm thankful because they are here to tell you it is not easy. It isn't. It took me 6 years for my granddaughter to become a band member. How many of you can pay for medical? I don't get welfare. I had to use the government money to pay for my daughter's teeth, my granddaughter. Now this money is coming from the government. children are not going to be able to pay $10 for this. I'm having a hard time paying $5 for it. And you guys are arguing about how our leadership brought down this nation. What would they like you? And quit blaming our leadership. Let's support them.
So, let's just get on the subject. They just want figures. So, I've seen a lot on Facebook saying 45,000. So, I'll go with 45.
Hello, Marty Season in the City Council. I'm here in Whitecroft. I'd like to thank the leadership for all the work that you've done. I know you're in a tough spot, but I'd like to recommend 40,000 and the rest put in trust, but also to have a board of trustees appointed by the people, not the leadership, because we all know what happened last time. Thanks.
Maybe we're going up till 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm saying 45,000 each, and then in terms of under 18, they get $5,000 cash straight away, and then that 40,000, it should be up to their parents or the guardians to put that money into their own personal trust. That way, when that kid turns 18, they can run go to a bank and something else. In terms of like drug deals and stuff, like, you know, it's against their constitutional right and to be here, start banning people if that's the case. You want to make change? If we all got 45K each, that still leaves about 10 to 15 million left over. You can use that money for programming, for psychologists and counselors to come to the reserve to help people that are addicted. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rhonda Beewood / Thunderchild, and you want numbers are going to say 50,000. There's a lot that I've been working off reserve my whole life pretty much, and I come back and I still help Mom, and I like giving back. And who knows what I could put my money to, but I need to do work on my home too. So I say 50,000 if you want numbers. And I should make it because it would help for us living off reserve. Thank you.
Just before we get to more numbers, just to keep in mind, I was hoping Dolly would be here, our membership clerk, just to confirm our population. It's 3,012, right? Oh. It's just a little under or a little over? About 3,000, just a little over 3,000. Trying to get her to give, I know Alex to ask earlier there. So, I think Dolly has it. Dolly?
It's 2,867 total Thunderchild band members. With IMAC, we are at 3,028 as of Friday.
Oh, thank you, Dolly.
When I say IMAC, it's because that's 3,028 people that are registered with a 349 number. So there's about 154 people that haven't come forth with the Form D to become a Thunderchild band member.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Laura June. I'm Thunderchild here. I say 50,000, 45. She just gave me the numbers. And I say look into tourism. I've been to Thailand now for twice. I'm heading back here for a third time. And there's no welfare system in Thailand. Everybody is out there making their own money, even though they don't make a lot of money, they help each other out. Everybody is, even the dogs get fed. Serious. The dogs get fed. Nobody goes hungry in Thailand, and they have 5 times more people in Canada than in Canada. They got millions of people. And they are not even the size of Saskatchewan. And they help each other out. And in Thailand, when somebody is down, they back each other up. So we all have to back each other up. And that means backing up our chief and council too.
Any other comments regards to the money amount, because we need a record of it?
Very quickly, sorry guys, I just had a question from the back there a while ago, I just didn't get to ask again. The question was, we're going to make a vote today regarding the cows and cows agreement and the amount that's being asked. And the answer to that is not yet. This is our first informational meeting, this is just an information meeting, we do have to set up some more, where we can go meet with the other membership in these various cities as well as here, and that's where the vote will be made. Thank you.
Okay. I'm Gladys Newlove from the Wallhouse family. I can attest to what Isabel was just saying. I remember the saying the same thing. I'm not a public speaker by any means, and I've heard a lot, and I've been on the reserve and off, and I know what it's like. But I haven't heard a lot of people talking about the future. I'm a very emotional person, sorry, but we're supposed to think 7 generations ahead. And none of us were there when these treaties were signed. So why would we right now take off? I don't know. It's food for thought. I don't have the answer. I don't have a number for you. But something inside me just told me I have to stand up and remind us that together we're supposed to think 7 generations in the future. If I walk away with 40,000, 50,000, that's not gonna last. That leaves no mark on the future. And as a woman, as a mother, as a grandmother, that's not what I was taught. So just consider that in your thought, you know, like we're here for today and we're living in the moment, but the ancestors who created those treaties for us, they didn't. And this is the only reason we're having this discussion. The only reason we have a place to be right now is because they thought about us in the future. And I think that's still our responsibility to think about our future generations. It's a big decision, and I'm sorry I don't have a number. I know that's what you guys want. And I appreciate all the efforts you put in for us and how much you fight for us. But I just want all of us to think about that when it comes to the vote. It's not just about today, it's also about tomorrow. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Toronto Oakley, 22 years old, and I'm a young, sober male from this community. I've been here my whole life. I've lived this already. I have 2 little boys that I have to think about. And it scares me. I know what you just said is true, but how can I live off of these little small payments when I don't even have a place to stay? I'm struggling so hard. So my fear is, how can I worry about my generation if I can't even live to the next fucking summer? Sorry for my language, but I'm so scared. Is that my dream of becoming an independent producer and artist, and also helping my family start up our own family business, which everyone is capable of doing, you know? Instead of putting it into trust and everything like that, why can't we invest in ourselves? How can we, you know, prevent this happening again, you know? We want to think about our next thing, so that money could help. But if we just make real small payments, that will only cover rent. That white world out there is hard. I've been out there and it's tough. I know it's hard. and we always come back, and that's when that addiction starts. And I see people being lowered into the ground, and I have to sing for all your loved ones when they go out that door. It's really hard. I know this money can help me and my grandkids because I want to do something good for them. But if I say yes to a cheap amount, I'm going to be stuck here living in that same tiny little trailer for probably the rest of my life, it looks like. And then still going to the grocery store, having to work a 9 to 6. It is very tough for me, and I came from literally almost nothing as a child. Only one single parent. I know life is tough for all of us, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to be a living example that we're not all addicts, you know? We're all strong people. There is a future, but we don't have to put everything into the band, you know? We all deserve that right. We all fought hard for it. So all I'm trying to say is that I vote for all of it. Because my boys, I don't want to put their money into a trust. 18 years down the road, they have nothing because it disappeared just like that again.
Any other, real quick, oh, here we go.
Get too emotional.
The chief.
Tanto ora na siga sun technology I can pass me no from was telling pass me so for those of you who don't understand what I just said, my name is Wanda Smalltalk. I was born and raised in Thunderchild First Nation. My grandparents are Donna and Stanley Pascaman. I have recently graduated from SIT with the Muslim Integration certificate. There's a couple of us that have, including January, Emily Walters. I vote full payout only because as a recent college graduate, the funding that we got from the reserve wasn't enough. Especially for, I was one of the lucky ones to get chosen to live in the Thunderchild land house that was right across the US. But there was a couple of them that didn't get, that they have to find their own apartment, and rent is not cheap, especially with the fund we got. Sorry, I'm shaking right now. I'm not But yeah, I vote full payout. Not only for our elders and that, yes, your time has come, but for those who want to continue on with our education and our future. My plan is to become a lawyer. It always has been. My short-term goal is to open a bakery because I love baking, and that was my business goal. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Wanda. Any more comments? And I know, go ahead, John.
Moving forward with the process, I know there was, of course, after I speak, we'll entertain that question, but so moving forward after this meeting, I know there was someone had brought up and said this is a band meeting. No, we understand that it takes 30 days. When we call a band meeting, we have to give 30 days. But we can call a meeting anytime. We can call a meeting next week. If we don't feel that we're confident enough, then we'll call another meeting. But there's specific meetings that we call, and those are for 30 days. And so moving forward with the process, me and Councillor Mel share this portfolio. And I thank Chief Wapas and former Chief Snakeskin, who've always believed, yes, they're the chiefs, but they just said, you guys do it, you guys, and you'll give us the information. And so I know Chief was up here today speaking, but he's always leaned on myself and Mel and the council, that together that we move forward with all these decisions. And so now, after this meeting, we look at doing those information sessions. And people are asking, well, that's where we're going to have all the numbers. We'll have everything. These information sessions are one whole day. So when we come to Thunderchild, you're going to be here for 8, 9, 10 hours. When we go to Saskatoon, same thing. When we go to Edmonton, same thing. Everybody will know where we're at, and you have to vote for it. If you say no, then no is no. So when people say that chief and council are trying to do this, no, everything will be put on, and so you'll vote for it. And so that's what I just want to instill with you when you're taking some stuff back. We've had over, I think, 360 people online today. I thank the people that came out and did all this technology for us. And Trixie, our finance manager, she's taking notes. And so we look at this room. There's about 200 people, maybe a little bit more. So altogether, it's about 600 people from Thunderchild that were at this meeting. And so that's something we should be proud of, that we're engaging everyone. So that's Thunderchild. That's us. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us, should be all proud of ourselves. So when tonight, when you lit up the sweet grass and we pray to the Creator, ask them about what we should do, and that instill those prayers to chief and council and yourselves that will come up with the right decision. Today what I heard is it's almost a spectrum. We don't want to give $15,000. We want to give more. And so we're going to do everything to give more. Also what Isabel was saying about water, $5. You know, things cost money. I think we should be all proud today when you leave out, go to the new school. There's a $30 million facility, hockey arena, field house. We should be all proud of that. That took a lot of years to do, to get that to that point, but it's going to cost $1 million to operate every year. So those are things that we have to, as a community, those are things we need to take into account. When we talk about seven generations, talk about where we all taught that. And so things to think about. So we'll go with one more question, and then again, what I also want to tell everybody is that we have technology. We all have cells. You can text us, you can call us. And so, wow, we'll get one more question. Yep, Mike, where's the mic?
Hi everyone, my name is Betty Ann Stoney Shankar. I guess I just wanted to say some of the comments that I've been hearing the past while. I think all the band members deserve the full amount, including the children, because this money is, like, this kind of money doesn't come around all the time, right? It's a once in a lifetime thing, is how I see it. And as well, we all come from different situations, right? I myself live in town. I pay rent $1,400 a month, and that's not including my bills. My hydro, my water, my internet, and even a water bill. My mom just passed away here last week, and I was here for 4 days, but my water got cut off, even though it wasn't much, but still, right? So if you total all my bills, like I pay like close to $3,000 over $2,500. So we all come from a different situation, and I believe our people deserve this money, including the children. But if they want to do investments, I think that you should hold some kind of an information session where you have a professional financial advisor to advise the people on how they can invest the money for their children, right? So that it's independent, so that, let them make the decision. It's always the government telling us what to do with our money, how much we're going to get. Let our people for once decide what they're going to do with it. Because like I said, everyone has a different situation too, right? I mean, I haven't been a band member all my life. It's just a few years for me and my sons, and I really appreciate that. All that Thunderchild has done for me since I've become a band member. I really appreciate that. But I just wanted to say, yeah, just, you know, just be fair to the people and give them whatever it is they want, like whatever it comes to, 40, 50,000, and let them decide. And that's all. Thank you.
One more question, I think Melanie.
Hi, my name is Melanie Passman. My name is Hilda Passman, and my late Kukumwiki is Passman. I motion for 50,000 per person, all our band members. That's what I motion for, and because we all deserve it. And but I believe that we're all worth more than that anyway.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Councilor Moore has a few words.
Yeah, real quickly stuff before the meeting ends. I just want to share with you, and I didn't promise, but I did tell an elder that I would say this today. You know, Mel, I said, you were chosen here to represent us, not only today, but the past and the future. Gilma, your leader, you must always think about everybody, including the ones not yet born today. So I just want to share that as well. During election time, I know we shouldn't go to election time, but I will share this as well. When I approached a family during the election time, before they would allow me to speak, they brought out their grandson, just probably about 5, 6 months old. They wanted me to carry their grandchild before I spoke to them, because that way I would not lie to them. They told me, Mel, whatever you say to us, don't look at us, look at my grandchild. Tell the truth. Always think of our grandchild and not us. And our time is already pretty much done here. The future, that's who you need to speak for. So I just want to share that. As we're moving forward, trying to decide on what it is that we're going to come up with for a number. One final thing. I'm not too sure if anybody in a room here knows anybody from Clearwater Dene First Nation. Clearwater Dene First Nation. If you do, reach out to them and ask them. They did 100% payout. They did 100% payout in Clearwater Dene First Nation. Now their membership are taken out to court because they did not look after the future in their reservation. I just want to say that. Hi.
We've asked James Standing Water to close the meeting with a prayer and for safe travels. And again, just to echo what Councilor Mel said, but it's a good time. This is a great time.
She was waving on the mic. I thought she was going
time
to
to
say
really think and reflect. With that, I